which restricts the, what happens, it just stops the flow of large objects like rag refers to, what is rag? Can you see on the screen? It is a clothes, waste cloth, which is inside that water sewage. Okay, and then sticks, cans, not only the water can, the juice cans, but different types of cans. Next, plastic packets, and then napkins, then other different debris. Okay, so all these things are first, they are screening out. Screening refers to they are removing out. That is what said to be a, that is the first step. So first step, you have to, the water is passed to the bar screen. Because of that bar, all the big particles are left out, only liquid just goes to the next step. Okay, so next step is the water then goes to a grit and sand removal tank. The second step, what happens, just goes to the sand removal tank. The speed of the incoming wastewater is decreased to allow the sand and grit and pebbles to settle down. Children, here the grit, sand, all these are துகுறுகள், அதாவது செங்கலோட small muddy particles is said to be a debris, grit. Okay, so what happens, they go for the next channel. See, here is a screen, you can see that there is a bar screen, then it just goes to the grit chamber. Okay, what happens, they just completely, they slow down the speed of the water. When it is completely slow down, what happens, the water does not move. So what happens, all the heavier particles, they start to sink. Okay, கீழே தேங்கிடுது, sink ஆகுது. So what happens then, they slowly, they will, you can see here, they slowly, they will avoid the next tank, that is what we say is a sediment tank. Sediment again refers to sedimentation. What is sedimentation? Allowing the large particle to settle down. They say sedimentation, right? And that, then it goes to the third step. Okay, fine. Okay, see here, it is here is a GIF I have attached. You can see here, first is the wastewater is collected, then here is a bar screen, then it is a sand and grit removal tank. Clear? Up to here we have just gone now. Next, here is a few step here, this one, this one, this one. We will see in the next slides. Got it? Okay, fine. Next one. Next is a third step. The wastewater is then allowed to settle in a large tank which is sloped towards the middle. Slope, what is slope? Here, this is what we say slope. Or madri, tengra madri. Okay, so it is allowed to the large tank. So why it is have a sloped structure? Because the solid like feces, now we have feces mixed in that and then some of the scrappers, all this solid particles we say as a sludge, this will settle down so that they can remove this. Okay, this, so that we can remove this. Actually, this sludge will go in a different way, and this water will go the next further step, and the sludge, the solid waste will be again, they will go in a different path where it just goes to 1 or 2 step, and then it is clean, then it is becomes manure, and they use as a manure for the land. But here the wastewater goes to the next step. Clear? Be sure of it. Okay. Okay, actually the waste, what the small solid particles which is floating on the water will be skimmed. Have you seen the skimmer? So what is actually skimming? Skimming refers to there will be a very big huge thing which just runs in a very fast way. What happens is they break the bigger particle into smaller particles so that it can dissolve in the water and settle down. Okay, so that is what we say as a skimmers. They use skimmers to remove the floatable waters. Okay, sorry, floatable solids. And oil, then greases, all these are cleaned. So you can see here the skimmer, how it is. Okay, and this is a real skimmer, you can see here. Yes. Then the next step is about the aerator. So you can see here there is a machine which has like this. They just they just run like this so that they allow the oxygen to pass in it, so that the bacteria which is present inside the water, the aerobic bacteria, will start to decompose all the things present in the wastewater. Okay. See now here, air is pumped into the clarified water to help aerobic bacteria to grow. So now I already said there's a bacteria, right? So these bacteria will eat the small organic things present in the sewage water. Okay. Then the treated water has very, now with the after that process, it will have a very low level organic materials and very less amount of suspended matter. Suspended means the things which is below. Okay. So then it is discharged into a sea or river into the ground. So that's all. So first step, bar screen. Second, what they did, they allowed the water to settle. They just slow down the speed of the water. They allowed to settle the grit and sand removal tank. And the third one is the clarifier, which just skimmer, using skimmer they used the floatable things and all, they removed it. And fourth step is, it is the aerator. They allow the air to pass in it. Okay. So what happens, all the things to be eaten. Now the water is clean, but again, wait, sometimes it may be necessary to disinfect water, the very important thing. Now the water is clean. There is no organic or inorganic things in it or no bacteria in it. But keep in mind that it is not yet so clean. So they will add, what they will add? They will add chlorine and ozone. Okay, they will pass the ozone layer, ozone radiation on in it, and then chlorine in it. So what happens, it just becomes like how we use a bleaching powder in our tank, the same way. And then they allow the water to flow in the river or water bodies. Clear? Understood? So now here is a small mind map. First home, office, industry. Then the first is bar screen. Then grit and sand removal thing. Then they will settle the all the suspended things. Then aerator means passing the air, and then clarifier. Then they allow the UV radiation and chlorine. Then they allow the water to go in the water bodies like river, sea, or next to the whatever it is. Okay, fine. So now you can have a question, ma'am, then what is down to that? See, I already said there is a sludge. Sludge is a solid things, like feces, cow dung, whatever it is. So again they will go with the next step down. They will remove it. Then they will allow, see, they will allow, it just becomes a manure. Then they sometimes they will use in agriculture, or they will use in incineration, or even in the landfill. Clear? Understood? So this is how this is the journey of wastewater. They are waste, then it is treated, then is allowed to the water bodies. Okay, fine. So this is the real view of the WWTP, wastewater treatment plant. It will be very big. You can see it. Yes, each and every step will be, it takes place in separate big containers. Okay, this is a mind map. Again, I don't want to explain. If you see it, you can understand. These are the things. If you see this mind map, the complete lesson completes. Okay. Then, so now here is a some of the better house practices should be done in our home, and some of the sanitation arrangements, alternative arrangement of for the sewage disposal is given in your textbook. So read it, but here I have given few points and tips. So better, see now here, it's some of the better household practices. So what we have to do, something, we just pour the cooking oil, right, in the sink. So what happens, the cooking oil is rich in fat. They start to they start to accumulate in the pipeline, and they does not flow inside the sewerage system. That should be avoided, should be thrown out. Okay. And next is, we just pour some chemicals, not in our homes but in the industries. That should be avoided. What happens is, it just kills the aerobic bacteria present in that sewage. If the aerobic bacteria dies, what happens, it will not eat these organic materials present in the wastewater. So very important is, we need the aerobic bacteria should be alive, so that it can decompose the things. Okay, fine. Next, used tea leaves, solid food remains, soft toys, cotton, sanitary towel chokes the drain. So we have to throw in a separate dustbin because these things they choke. What is choke? அடைச்சிக்குது. So what happens if the choke அடைச்சிக்குச்சுன்னா தண்ணி flow ஆகாது. Okay, that's the main thing. And next one is what happens if you don't allow the waters to be in a proper channel. It obviously it just leads to diseases like cholera, typhoid, polio, meningitis is a brain disease, and then hepatitis, it is an again we have liver diseases in. So all these things will be happening, and even dysentery. You know what is dysentery? I don't know. I know to explain that again. And next one is maintenance of good hygienics and sanitation in public places. What we do? Are you following all these things? No. So we just wherever we feel to pass the urine, we just pass it and just go it. So we don't keep in a proper sanitize. We don't maintain a good hygienic thing. Okay, so adaptation of alternative arrangement for sewage treatment like on-site sewage disposal, septic tank, chemical toilets, composting pit. So these are because now we in our homes we all use the alternative methods. So now some urban area they have brought some of system in a proper channel, but in village sites still we have a we have septic tanks in our homes, composting pit. If they don't have a toilet in the home, they use the composting pits. Okay, so why all this has given is that you should be aware that the wastewater should be treated. It should not be thrown in an open area. So if you throw open area, what happens? It just leads to different diseases. Okay, hope children you would have understand this topic. If any doubt, just make a note of it. We will discuss in the live classes. Okay children, thank you once again. Bye, take care.